Hey everyone, Ryan here with my brand new board game City, which just launched on Kickstarter just the other day. Some of our backers have asked for a little bit more of a detailed playthrough of the game, so I'm hoping to give that to you today. If you haven't already been to our website, please check it out and you'll see the link at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so we got the game board all set up here. We've got our stockpile of natural resources up here, our residential, commercial, and industrial tiles down here. And right now we're just going to play a two-player game. This game is great up to 5 people, and one of the great things about the game actually is that it works pretty well with just 2 people. So for the game to start, we need to figure out where each player's city is going to begin. So to do that, let's start with blue. We're just going to pull an industrial tile here at random. This is a agriculture number 9, so it has to go on a wheat field and has to go on a number 9. So I've got 4 options on the board. Well, you know what? This option here looks not bad. I'm just going to go ahead and put my starting token on that square there. I'm going to discard this agriculture tile from the game. Now in the final version, I should point out, these starting tokens are going to look a little bit fancier. We've got some great artwork made up, but for this prototype, these little hand-drawn stars work pretty well. Okay, red's up next. Red grabs an industrial tile, agriculture number 7. And this spot here actually looks pretty darn good. I'm close to wood, very close to wheat, and mineral and oil are not too far away at all. Players will find that a diversity of resources is really key to this game, because what happens, these resources run out very quickly, and if you don't have a backup, well, then you're screwed. Okay, so the game starts. Blue has 2 citizens that are just waiting to move into the city at their next available moment, and $10. This is kind of the bank loan, the startup capital to get their city going. Now, in order for their citizens here to come into the city, blue's going to have to make spots for them to live. So that's where residential tiles come in. Every residential tile has a number on it, so it's a number 2 in this case. It can go on any number 2 square in the region, so I've got lots of choice. And I'm going to go ahead and put it as close as I can to my starting token. In order to use it, I'll have to build a road to it from my starting token to that residential zone. And every road costs $1. So I'm going to spend $2, throw that into the bank, and build a road that's too long. And that allows me to bring one of my citizens into play. So they're just going to live at home for now. An unemployed citizen isn't worth any points, basically useless to the player. So the next stage for blue on their next turn will be to find a job for that citizen. Alright, it's red's turn. Well, red's going to do something kind of sneaky. Red, right off the bat, is going to pay $3 to the bank. That enables them to build 3 roads. And red is just going to saddle up to that very same residential zone. Residential zones are not owned by any one player, and in this case it acts as a house for both citizens. So if there were 4 people sharing this residential zone, then 4 people could live there. There is really no limit. The number of citizens, though, that I can have in my city, if I'm red, is just 1. I have 1 residential zone, so 1 citizen can live in the house. Same with blue. 1 citizen, 1 residential zone. Well, I'm red, and I haven't pulled a tile yet. Every turn I get to pull one of these tiles. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an industrial tile. I want a place for my unemployed citizen to work. All right, I got a number 3 agriculture. Well, that's really close to where I am. I'm going to lay that tile down. I'm going to build a road. $2 buys me 2 more road tiles. And that allows me to connect right up to that zone. So at the end of my turn, at the end of red's turn, this citizen is going to go and work at this agriculture zone. Now, industry zones are different from residential zones. Only 1 player can use that zone at a time. So as long as the red player's there, blue can't move in. And that's very important for the strategy of this game. Okay, it's blue's turn. Blue also needs a job for their citizens, so they're going to go ahead and draw an industry tile as well. Oh, it's a number 2 agriculture. This is great. You know, agriculture is really important to any city because it's wheat that ends up allowing the player to add more citizens. At the beginning of the game, you start with just 2, and once those 2 are in play, you need to spend wheat resources to get more citizens. So, good thing that there's lots of wheat on the board. Looks like number 2 is not that far away. In fact, 2 roads, and blue will be able to connect to it. Now, at the end of blue's turn, this player's going to go to work there. All right, we're back to red. Now, every turn that citizen is working that agriculture zone, red gets to collect a wheat resource. Well, 1 wheat resource doesn't buy red anything. You need 2, as it turns out, to get a new citizen. So what's red going to do on this turn? Well, red has another free citizen waiting to enter the game, so might as well pull another residential tile. It's a number 7. Well, there's one not too far away right here, so let's put our number 7 right there. Pay $2 more, and we'll go ahead and build to it. Now, red's got to watch out. Red is running out of money, and when you run out of money, you run out of the ability to make new roads. So, red's going to have to figure out a way to make money soon. Alright, blue's turn. Blue just has 1 citizen in play. I think blue is going to also get a new residential zone. It's a number 8. Well, that's not a great option here. This is 2 roads away, this one's 3 roads away, this one's 2 roads away. But in putting it here, it kind of gives this to red, which I don't think blue wants to do right now. So blue's going to put it right here. Spend, oh, that's red's dollars. We'll spend $2 and build a road up to that zone. So now blue's second citizen is also in play. Something I forgot to do was take my wheat for that turn, because I have 1 citizen working that agriculture zone. Alright, red's turn. Well, I think red wants another industry tile. Oh, awesome. It's a number 3 mineral. So mineral is a very valuable resource in the game. That's kind of far away. And let's see. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, it's 4 roads away, and red only has $3. So unfortunately, red isn't able to get to that zone. And that's super crummy. Red kind of overspent himself here at the beginning of the game a little too much. One benefit though, red does get a second wheat resource. And now that I have 2 wheat, red can actually get a new citizen onto the board. Now, red only has 2 residential zones, so there's really no point in bringing a new resident onto the board yet. So we'll just hold off on that. Alright, blue's turn. Blue's also going to get another wheat resource. Now, blue's kind of eyeing up this zone over here as well. Now, blue has $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not quite enough either. So blue and red both in need of more money in order to build longer roads. Okay, blue has an unemployed citizen, so blue's going to get another zone here. Oh, it's a number 5 wheat. Well, this is interesting because we don't actually need more wheat. We've got lots of wheat going on. And to spend more roads just to get another wheat might just be a waste of time. So I'm going to put it there and just hold off. I'm not going to do anything else on blue's turn. Alright, red's turn again. Well, red's going to take another stab at this. We've got a number 2 in forestry. Oh, this is great. This is actually just 1 road away from where I'm at right now. So red's going to spend $1 for another road. And then at the end of red's turn, that unemployed citizen's going to go to work. Also on this turn, red collected another wheat. And starting next turn, red's going to start making wood. Now, wood is useful for a couple reasons. Wood purchases apartment towers, which I'll explain more of that in a second. But more importantly, wood can be used to sell at commercial zones to make more money, which is crucial for red right now. Alright, blue's turn. I think blue has got to get lucky here and pull another. Oh, darn, look at that. More wheat. Well, you know, wheat is important, but having too much of it right now is not beneficial. So I think blue is just going to hold off. Well, you know what? Let's take a gamble. Blue's going to spend $2 more. It's going to buy these 2 roads here. And now at least one of those citizens can go and work at that agriculture zone. I also didn't take the wheat resource this guy made on that turn. So there we go. So now blue's going to make 2 wheat every turn. That's going to deplete wheat pretty quick, so I think red's going to be a little concerned about that. Alright, the red player's turn. So now red gets 1 wood resource. Now, I think what red wants to do is draw a residential tile. We need another place for these citizens to live. So let's see what we get here. Hopefully it's somewhere we're already connected to. Oh, it's a number 3. Not a great pull. So I think that's just going to go off to the side for now. And that's about all red can do. We're back to blue. Blue gets 2 wheat at the beginning of his turn there. I think blue also needs more citizens now. They've got lots of wheat to support a larger population. Number 9. Oh, that's great. Number 9 is already connected to the blue cities. So blue is then going to spend 2 wheat resources. Every time wheat is, or anytime any resource is used, these resources are discarded from the game. They're sent to the dump. They don't ever re-enter the game. Not like Settlers of Catan, for instance. So in spending 2 wheat resources, I get a new citizen in my city, and I already have another job for that citizen to work. Another agriculture field. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, we're back to red. Red gets 1 wood and another wheat. Now, red has got some options here. First of all, red is going to spend those 2 wood resources, and that's going to purchase an apartment tower piece. Now, apartment towers are worth a point at the end of the game, but also they allow now 2 citizens to live in this area here. So in essence, my population capacity has increased from 2 to 3. So red can also spend 2 wheat, get another citizen, and that citizen is just going to live at home for now. Okay, haven't drawn a tile yet. I think what red's going to do is get a commercial zone. They need some money. A number 2. Not a great pull for red, but you know what? It's doable. The closest number 2 I see is right there, and if red just spends $2 more, they can build a road to that commercial zone. They've now run out of money, but that's okay because we can now start selling stuff at this commercial zone. So red is going to send their citizen to work there. In order to sell stuff for money, you do need a citizen to work at your commercial zone. Okay, blue's turn. Blue gets 3 wheat now per turn, and very quickly you can see the wheat starting to run out. What's blue going to do? Well, I think blue needs to... well, this is a tricky one here. I think what blue's going to do actually is get a commercial zone, because blue also needs some money. It's a number 5. Oh, that's not so bad. Here, blue's going to put it right there, spend their last $2, and build up to that number 5. Then, this citizen over here is going to go from the agriculture field and work now in the commercial zone. So that's opened up this agriculture zone. If red had enough money, it could build a road up to it and work there. But of course they don't, so it's not much of a risk for blue to leave that zone unoccupied. The last thing blue's going to do on their turn is trade 4 wheat resources for 1 oil resource. Now, at any point in the game, you don't need a commercial zone to do it. You can do this kind of 4-to-1 trade, but these 4 resources are discarded. They don't re-enter the game, so it is kind of a waste. So that's going to give 1 oil resource to blue. Now, oil is the most valuable resource on the game. If I sell this oil at my commercial zone, I'm going to get $3. I'd like to do it right now, but because I just moved this guy here on the same turn, I'm going to have to wait another turn before I can sell stuff there. All right, red's turn. Red gets 1 wood and 1 wheat. Red is going to trade in these 4 wheat, just like blue did, for 1 oil. And then going to sell this 1 oil in the commercial zone for $3. Next, red's going to spend that $3 right away and build 3 more roads. 1, 2, 3. All right, now red is connected to that mining zone. Mining gives you mineral, which can buy you office towers. So they're very similar to residential towers, except they're gray. And office towers go on commercial zones, and they, like apartment towers, get you an extra point at the end of the game, but then they also increase the value of resources that you're selling there. So they're very important. Well, the trick now is who's going to move into that mineral mining zone there. I think red is going to take their commercial zone player and put him there, because we don't have anything else to sell right now, so it seems like a low-risk thing to do. All right, we're back to blue. Blue gets another couple wheat. Blue is then going to sell that oil for $3. Blue's going to spend $1, and that's going to build him a road to this residential zone. Now, this tower gets a point to both blue and red. Also, this increases blue's population capacity by 2. So it's a huge move to do this. It's basically stolen that point from red. If red was smart, red maybe would have built 1 more road to sort of block blue from being able to do this. But red didn't see that coming. All right, so blue is going to right away spend 2 wheat to buy a new citizen, because now that we have the extra population capacity, we can do that. And you know what else blue's going to do? Spend $2 to build 2 more roads and take one of his citizens and go work at this commercial zone. So blue has really spoiled things for red here. That was a pretty good turn. All right, red's turn. Red's going to get wood, a wheat, and for the first time, a mineral. Well, red is going to spend those 2 wood on a new apartment tower. Now, this is the only residential zone that isn't shared by blue and red, but red isn't connected to it yet, so it doesn't really do much good to put it there. So I think red is just going to add that to the tower he has going on. He's okay sharing that with blue for now. He does need that extra capacity in order to increase his city. Alright, so we fast forwarded to the end of the game. Now, the game ends when all of the natural resources have been used up. So, how did things turn out? Well, blue, with all his agriculture fields, has a much larger population than red. And he also got kind of lucky. He pulled a whole bunch of oil field tokens here. So he was able to get into oil. That allowed blue to make tons of money. So blue collected pretty much all the money in the game. Red, on the other hand, collected all the mineral. Now that allowed blue to create these awesome commercial towers here. And each of those commercial towers is worth a point. So that's quite a few points. Red also managed to make a few more residential apartment towers and managed to connect one that was exclusive just to red. So that's going to be a point for red, not a point for blue. So now we have to count up the points. Let's do blue first. So for every employed citizen, blue makes a point. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points for blue. For every residential tower that blue's connected to, blue will make another point. So that's 2 points here. That brings the total up to 9. And then for every $5 that blue managed to save, that's going to be another point. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and not quite enough to make 4. So 3 more points, we're up to 12. So blue scored 12 at the end of the game. I think that's pretty respectable. All right, Red's turn. Red has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 citizens employed. 2 apartment towers here. That's 7 points. 1 more here. That's 6. Or that's 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $3 is not quite enough to make a point, so no points for money. But then 5 points for commercial zone towers. Every one of these stories is a point. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, so Red ends up winning the game by just 1 point. So that's the game, The City. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so already, please check out the official website for this game, which you'll see at the bottom of the screen now. And go check out the rule booklet too. We've posted that, so you can go ahead and look at all the rules and see how the game works. You'll see that it's not a terribly complex game, but the strategy is really quite impressive. And every time you play, you'll find a different way, a different strategy to take. So thanks very much for watching, and take care. Please go visit our Kickstarter website and help us out.